Good day, ma'am. This is Jemma Lyn Carbonilla discussing my insights and my learnings gain in chapter 1 to 3. And in chapter 1, titled The History and Historical Research, what I gain in this chapter is that I gain the knowledge of knowing the definition of the history and historical research. And most importantly, it gives me a knowledge of enlightenment, cultivating where my life and stories began with. For example, by knowing the histories between my families, that would really help me to know myself very well, and knowing how I ended right now in the present, gaining or having the skills that I have, thoughts that I have, thoughts that I have in me right now. In this chapter, it gives me a tool to know more about everything, or should I say, every little things that surrounds me that has played a big role in my life for feeling for fulfilling the gaps in myself to become a better person who is I am today. So in this chapter, in the topic of history and historical research, reminds not only me but also for all of us that history is not just like a normal or nothing to us, but rather it is like a mirror of everything that we have and become today. It is a storage of memory where all of the record or all of the significant record of memories, phenomena, or events is being processed for for all of us to interpret it and pay some attention to it with the help of a certain sources, whether it is primary, secondary, or other evidences. And in chapter 2, titled The Sources of History, what I gained from this chapter is that what I gain in this chapter, or being learned in this chapter, is knowing the types of sources which played a big role in terms of organizing the certain phenomena, circumstances, or situations in the past that helps the history becomes more clear, not only for me but also for all of the people. For example, me or us, who is a member of a certain place or even a country, we need to know what really happened back then for me and for all of us to know what's behind of this success and becomes a country that is free from colonizers that conquers our nation rather. So these sources are a way of knowing and can change some things or even beliefs or perspective in a certain circumstances, by which it can help us prove a thing based on facts and a true source where a certain phenomena or situation happen. These sources can help me or us correcting the wrong information that we got, and help me or us to whether to scan, whether the sources of that certain event is true and based really on facts. It helps me or us to become a wiser people, most especially in providing a message or a news to everybody. And for the last chapter, the chapter 3, titled The Content and Contextual Analysis, in this chapter I learned knowing the importance of a certain goal in doing a thing in a certain text or even in a certain situation, how we can give such information, whether we speak or write, using a techniques or a medium to put or store those ideas that we have in mind, to help or letting other people know about it. In this chapter, I realized that every little things indicates a information behind it. We only just to know and prove those things or idea using all the ways that we knew. Either we ask, either we share, or either we discover. For us to becomes wiser, to be to becomes a wiser person, living not only for today but also for tomorrow.